So here's another example that deals with externalities, and here again I just want you to pause, try and work through all of this on your own, and then I'm going to start working through this right now. So go ahead and pause it and then work through your own answers and then pick up from here. Alright, so in the table below, how many units will be produced in the unregulated equilibrium? Well, we know that this is just going to be where marginal cost, the private marginal cost, is equal to the private marginal benefit. And another way of writing marginal benefit is demand, and another way of writing marginal cost is supply. So this is just supply equals demand. So here we're just going to go look through the table until we find where these two are equal. And so it's not equal at 1 unit, so we'll just put a little x right here because 1 is less than 10. It's not equal at 2 units because 2 is less than 9. Not equal at 3 units, 3 is less than 8, not at 4 units, but at 5 units it is, because 6 is equal to 6. So 6 units will be produced in the unregulated equilibrium. Now in the socially optimal equilibrium, we want the place where marginal cost, the private marginal cost, is equal to the marginal benefit to society. Which another way of writing the marginal benefit to society is just as the marginal benefit to the private plus the marginal benefit to the public or to society. So we can just add those two together. So if we add those two together, we still see that at 5 we have 6 plus 10, which is 16, which is still more than, so here, I'll write this out. I'll write the marginal benefit to society, and I'm just going to pick up here because we know that it's going to be more than the unregulated equilibrium because this is a positive externality. And the reason we can see this is a positive externality is that it has a marginal public benefit that is greater than 0. Alright, so getting back to the marginal benefit to society, at 5 units this will be 16. Just 6 plus 10. Then it'll be 5 plus 8, which is 13. And then it'll be 4 plus 6, which is 10. And so at that point we can stop because we see that 10 right here is equal to 10. So that's where the private marginal cost is equal to the marginal benefit to all of society. So 7 units will be produced in the socially optimal equilibrium. Then should the government subsidize or tax this good? Well, it should subsidize it because it has a marginal public benefit that is not incorporated in the market, that is not internalized in the market. And then it should subsidize it by $6 per unit. And the way that we see that is that at 7, so I'm just going to go ahead and draw this diagram right here because I think it makes a lot more sense graphically. So if this is 7 units of output, this cost up here is 10. That's 10 units, that's $10. And this is the marginal cost, the private marginal cost, which is equal to supply. And then the demand, this would be the marginal benefit, the private marginal benefit, the private demand. And if we go down here, this right here is only 4. And we get that from right there. So this is 4. And so the value of the subsidy is 10 minus 4, which is equal to $6. And the short way to find that is that the value of the subsidy is also equal to the value of the externality at the socially optimal output level. So you could have just gone and circled 6 right there, and that would have been it. So it should subsidize this good by $6 per unit, or at a level of $72, it should be spending 7 times 6 is, I always goof this one up, 7 times 6 I believe is, you know what, let me just do this out. 6 times 6 is 36, plus 6 is 42. So, or it would spend $42 in total subsidies. So in total subsidies. But what I was thinking of, when I think of subsidies, I normally think of a per unit, So it should subsidize at $6 per unit. And that's all that I wanted to say on this video. I think that you should be able to work with both tables and graphs when dealing with anything in economics, and you should be able to go back and forth between the two. So that was kind of the big point of this one with an externality. All right.